Hey up everybody, and welcome to Monday morning. And look at this, proper daylight. What an absolute treat. It's been ages since I've come out and done an early morning run and we've got some daylight. But on a Monday, this is when I take the opportunity to introduce myself, because this channel's growing on a daily basis, and I think it's only fair that I introduce myself to all the new subscribers. And my name's Neil, and I'm 54 years old, and I'm trying to be the best runner I can before age stops the improvements. And I'm currently doing the Norwegian Singles Approach, which, to describe it quickly and easily, it's a high volume training that's working right on the intensities that improve those really important energy systems that are important to running. So what started out as me just documenting my training, and really it was just friends and family that were watching it. It's really taking off. There's so many people subscribed now. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that have subscribed. It's really making this channel grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to follow me journey, let's call it, on this see how far I can push my improvements before I get too old journey, I'll have to think of a catchy title. A title like, let's see how good I can get before I get too old. It's a bit long. If you got any ideas, let me know in the comments. But that's the idea. So if you want to follow me along, click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it just helps the channel grow, and it just allows more people to see the little thumbnail when they put the YouTube on. And if you've just arrived because you've searched for Norwegian Singles, you'll be seeing how my journey with that is getting on. I'm just starting my 8th week now, and if you look back on the previous weeks, when I got to week 6, that's when the improvement started. It's not an immediate thing. So if you decide to press that subscribe button and follow the journey, what's in it for you? Well, I'll be doing 2 to 3 uploads a week. I'll be documenting everything I do, the good times and the bad times. I'll be not doing what I call the big storyline, the big adventure videos, because I haven't got the skills for that, and I haven't got the time either. I go out and do my run in the morning, and then I go to work, and then that just gets repeated. But I'll be bringing the camera along, and we'll have a chat, and we'll have a run, and you get to see what I'm up to. And that's basically how the channel works. I'll be including, I'd say at least once every 4 weeks, a race or an absolute full send. This month there'll be 2. I've already done 1. That was the cross country, last cross country of the league, and that was an absolute brutal, really hard full send that was. And I am going to do 1 more this month. That'll probably be a park run somewhere, not decided where yet, but before the end of the month it'll get done. And then in March we've got the first of my big A-goal races of the year, which is the Wilmslow Half Marathon, which is what this block's all about. And I'm going to really try my best to get a PB there. It's got a really unusual profile. Oh, hang on. Finished. Look at that, chatting away, and didn't realise we were getting to the end of my run. Yeah, the profile, it's a bit unusual for a PB attempt, but it works in my favour. I'll put it on screen now. So basically, the first half of it is net downhill, and the second half, when the majority of people have got nothing left in the legs, that's net uphill. But if you get your race strategy right, you can make that work for you, because the first half you can almost consider it as a free run. You get your pacing right, you can stay on your target pace, but because it's net downhill, it's actually easier. So when you do get to that halfway point, when you get the 6 miles in, or whatever it is at the halfway, then you feel a lot fresher than what you would do on a completely flat half marathon. And then it's a case of maintain that pace for a few more miles, which is ever so slightly uphill. The actual profile looks nasty, but it's just a gradual, and the traditional full send for the last mile or so. And if you get the strategy right, you can get some good results, but it'd be very easy to go out way too fast and hard on that first half and just ruin the race. So that's going to be a big test. That's going to be how well can I control myself on race day. But that's enough for now. The other thing I always do is I always have a chat about trainers, and at the end of my run I'll put the camera down on my feet and I'll show you what I've been wearing and why I've been wearing it. And today I've been wearing my Saucony Speed 2s, and I've had these for a number of years now, and they're still as lively and fresh as when I first bought them. The outsole, I've still got plenty of grip left on them. There's no deadness or flatness in the midsole. They're still a really good shoe, and I suppose that's down to having a shoe rotation. When I wear a pair of shoes, they get a good week or so at least, just to sit and relax, let the foams come back to life before I go out again. I've also got to mention the socks, because these monkey socks, these are favourite of mine. I think this is the first time I've wore these socks. I can't remember wearing these before. I get a subscription from Monkey Socks. It's a present from my wife. Every month, once a month for 6 months, you get a complete surprise pair of socks sent out, and you've no idea what they're going to be. They do keep a record of what they've already sent you, so you never get the same pair twice. And it's just like Christmas Day every month. It's brilliant having this surprise pair of socks arrive in the post. But that's me done for today. I've got a long drive today and a long day at work, so I'm going to head back now, get myself cleaned up and get ready. But tomorrow's session day, I'm going to bring you along to a sub-threshold workout. It's going to be 6 by 6 minutes at sub-threshold. They're all going to be off 90 seconds recovery, so it's going to be a bit intensive tomorrow. So until then, I'll see thee. Just before we go, let me just show you this that I've seen. Hang on, come back on. 10.58 kilometers, and that's with, where's my heart rate on here? An average heart rate of 114 beats a minute. That is mad. That's improvement. This Norwegian Singles is working fantastic. Right, gotta go. See you next time. Hey up everybody, welcome to Tuesday morning, and look at this. We've got a daylight run at last, an early morning run, and we can see what we're doing. Today's session is 6 by 6 minutes sub-threshold, all off 90 seconds recovery. I've just finished my warm-up, so let's get straight on with it. Let's go for a run. Well, last week we ran this session at 4:14 pace, and that was a really bad day, strong winds, icy rain. So I'm going to do the same pace today, and we'll compare heart rates when I get home. Let's get on with it. First one done, and that felt pretty easy, but it's supposed to do. I'm aiming for consistency, and I know it's going to get more difficult as we progress through this. Number 2 done, and the heart rate starting to lift as expected and as it should. Oh. Halfway done. Oh, feeling really controlled with this. I'm having to hold back, but by the end of each effort, my heart rate's climbing right to where it needs to be. So I'm doing the right thing and keeping it controlled. Number 4 done. Oh, only one more out and back. And I haven't said the channel motto for a while. Training is to improve what we do, not to prove what we can do. And today's one of them days when I could absolutely smash out some rapid sessions, but that's not the objective. Today's sub-threshold, and it's going to stay sub-threshold. 5 down, 1 to go. This is really, really good. Feeling really strong today. And that's the 6 done. All controlled. Really feel like I'm holding back, but that's a good thing. I was hitting the intensity I wanted. Whew. Can't wait to see the data now. That went really well. I am so pleased with that. Last week when I did this session, we had really dreadful weather, but I managed to keep my splits nice and consistent. Last week, all the splits were at 4:14 a kilometre, except for the one, which were 4:15. Today, in much, much better weather, we've got hardly any wind, and if I just pan round, there is bits of blue visible. Today, all my splits were at 4:13 a kilometre, except for the one, which were at 4:14. And I'm not putting that down to any improvements on myself being fitter or whatever. That's just down to weather. To running in today's conditions, it were a joy to run in, and I actually felt like I was holding back. But I've got to get my cool down done. But before we go, let's have a look what we've got on the feet. And today, just like last week, I put my Adidas Pro 3s on. I wore these because it's a bit of an intensive session, and these are cracking shoes, but I also wanted to wear the same shoes as last week, then I can actually do a comparison. So I've got to get going now. I've got to finish this cool down and get ready for work. So until tomorrow's 60-minute easy, I'll see thee. Hi up everybody, and welcome to Wednesday morning. And we're not far off finishing the 60 minutes easy. Let's have a look at the watch. We've got 6 minutes left, and I've spent this run planning my race strategy for the Wilmslow Half Marathon next month, and it's not straightforward. So I'll put the what's it called? The elevation. I'll put the elevation on screen and then you can see my dilemma. So when I run that, I think that was 2024, I pretty much run it to pace. The first half felt pretty easy, and then the second half I had to put a shift in, and that was just with the goal of trying to run a sub 90, doing it on pace. Now, thinking about it sensibly, I'm gonna run it this time with a mixture of pace and effort, because if I take it too easy on the first half by running to a pace, a target pace, that's lost time and I just won't be able to get that back. So running to a mixture of effort and pace, I'm going to have to accept now that the best strategy for this race, on paper when you look at the splits, might actually look like positive splits. If I'm aiming to run pretty much right up to my threshold, on the way out it's net downhill, so my pace is going to be much quicker, but maintaining that same intensity, I've got the climb on the way back. So even though I'm working just the same intensity, there's going to be a difference in pace. But knowing that in advance, that helps me get my head around it, because I hate seeing positive split races. When you get a flat course and somebody does a positive split, to me that means you've done it wrong. There's a lot of scientific reasons for that. There's a lot of big words that all your sports scientists will tell you about, energy systems and phosphates and things like that. And getting the start of your race done a little easier is so beneficial to the rest of the race. It really is key to getting that right. So I'm going to go out from the gun. I am going to aim for my target pace, but I also am going to watch the heart rate, and if the heart rate is creeping a little bit too high on those first couple of kilometers, I'm just going to accept it's not my day and I'm going to back off there and then, because I want to do the best race I can on the day and just accept the fact that not every race is a perfect day, when we should be aiming for that perfect race time that we're after. Oh, look at the mud here. Great stuff. So my training is going to have little changes moving forward with my long run. What I am going to introduce is my race day fueling, because I want to get myself used to that. Now, I'm going to be running at quite a high intensity. I'll be using quite a big chunk of my anaerobic energy system, which means that I'll be burning fuel like a fighter jet with its afterburners on. So I've got to be taking fuel as well. Now, because the time I'm aiming for isn't like all the super quick boys and girls who can do it in just over an hour, I'll be out on that course for a bit longer. So I'm going to have to make sure I don't run out of fuel. And when I'm doing my marathon, what I condition myself to do, and I've got an alert on my watch, is every 35 minutes I'd have one of the 40 gram SAS gels, and that's suiting me perfectly for a marathon. But this is a little higher intensity, so over the next couple of weeks I'm going to turn the dial up. I'm going to aim for getting 3 gels in over the time of my expected half marathon. You need wellies down there.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Yes, 10.6. We're edging closer and closer to that 11 kilometers. Definite improvement. So that's today's talky bit done. Shoes, let's get the shoes done. Today I wore my Saucony Pro 2s because they're just a super trainer. They're super comfortable. As far as comfort goes, there's nothing that can match them so far. The Vomeros are pretty close, I've got to be honest, but both these Pro 2s and my Speed 2s, love them, and they're lasting really well. These have got probably nearly 1,000 kilometers on them, same with my Speed 2s. And if I just show you the outsoles, the grip's still untouched. The midsole still nice and lively there, not compressed and dead. And that's pretty much the same with all my shoes. It's probably because I've got so many of them and I got such a rotation that when I wear things they get so long to relax and recover from the run that they last me for ages. So time to get back, time to get cleaned up and get to work. Tomorrow, bit of an intensive spicy session. We've got 10 by 3 minutes at sub threshold, so I'm trying to think now what shoes to put on. If the weather's good, I'm thinking at the moment I might bring me original Street Flies out. I haven't used them for a while, but it all depends. So until then, I'll see you.